Chapter 4 Not Luna Material. Max POV. Aries' bright smile was contagious, and he asked, "What is your name, beautiful?" She was very pale and looked shocked. I heard her low voice after a minute or two of waiting. "It is Julie." Aries' happiness flooded my body, and he lowered my head to the crook of her neck and inhaled her scent. Her scent was intoxicating. She smelt like salted caramel chocolate cake, clouding my thoughts. I knew I needed to leave, and with much difficulty, I took back control and ran to the back entrance. I needed to go for a run to clear my mind and figure out what to do. That girl was not what I expected my mate would be. I shifted midair as soon as I got outside, ripped my sweatpants, and sprinted away from her scent. "What are you doing, Max? We must go back to our mate." "We found her, ma'am." Aries started to laugh and howled happily. "I told you I wasn't going crazy, and she was here. Come, buddy, let's get our little wolf and invite her for a night run." I could not talk to Aries. I knew what he was going to say. I blocked our connection and ran as fast as my paws allowed me. I ran from one side to the other of Alpha Michael's territory and had never run that fast. Too much adrenaline was in my veins, and my mind was like a stormy day. I had no idea what I would do with that girl, but I was confident she was no Luna material. She was sick and an Omega. We could not mate her. And the problem was that Aries would not have it and would not like the conversation I would soon have with him. I will have to give him all the facts. She was weak and not suitable for our pack. After running non-stop, I noticed the sun was about to come up at any time, and I needed to act fast. "Terry, wake up. I need you to meet me in the back and bring sweatpants for me, please." Whining throughout the mind link, he said, "I'll be down in a minute." I knew he hated it when I woke him up, but I did not care. I had more important matters on my hands now. I took a long whiff and followed her scent. It had fainted from the back door. Anyone would not notice it, but now that I knew her scent, it was imprinted on my soul, and I could find her anywhere with even less than this faint smell. I started to track it. I had to know where she was before talking to Terry. She had not given Aries her full name, but I was in no mood to speak to Alpha Michael about her and explain that she was my mate. I did not know yet what to do with her. Her scent brought me to a run-down dark shed in the back of the pack house. Her scent was all over the place and strong. I was sure she lived there. I was disgusted with Alpha Michael and wanted nothing more than to go to him and rip his head off. How is he allowing a member of his pack, Omega or not, to live in a place like that? I ran back to the pack house, and as I thought, Terry was waiting for me, pants in hand. "What happened to you? It is 5 o'clock in the morning, Max." "I went to bed very late." "Is Aries annoying you that much?" I did not have time for that. I was annoyed and tired of this place. With my alpha command, I said, "Enough." Terry shut his mouth and looked at me with wary eyes. All the sleep vanished from his face. He bowed his head. "I'm sorry, Alpha. Pack your things. You will be leaving in 20. There is a rundown shed in the back. A girl called Julie will be inside. Get her last name and add to the names of all the people we are taking from here." I closed my eyes, concentrated on her scent, and imprinted it inside his mind throughout the mind link. I could not leave anything to chance. They needed to go before anyone was up. Use force if necessary. I want you both gone before everybody is awake. Do not speak to anyone about this. Once you arrive at the pack, lock her in a bedroom in my wing. Don't put her near my room, though. When I started to get inside the pack house, I heard my beta saying alpha. And I did not need to let him finish his sentence as I knew what he was going to ask. Yes, she is my mate. Julie POV. I was in shock and Aphrodite was bouncing in my head. Did you see our mate, Jules? I told you he would find us. He will give us a better life. And those beautiful shiny eyes, oh my, he was handsome. He seems strong, and I am sure he will provide plenty for us. I can't wait for him to make his first kill and leave it at our feet. Oh, girl, we are leaving this hell. I was afraid he would not return. He left us, eh? Did you not find it strange? Wagging her tail, Aphrodite said. Of course not. He needed to run. Too much testosterone. He had to wait till we were at his pack to mark and mate us. I don't know about you, Jules. But I can't wait for him to mate with us. And please don't be a prude and complicated. He is our mate and will love us. I don't want to wait long to mate. She could not stop running around my mind. Jules, what are you waiting for? Start packing. He will be coming for us soon. I'm sure you will not need those rags to where we are going, but just in case, we will bring them till our mate give us new things. I was curious. Is he a warrior? I am not sure, Jules. I'm still very weak. We need to feed. I could not even sense his presence till we looked into his eyes. But he was powerful. My goddess, I can't wait to feel those arms around us again. And I nearly passed out with so much happiness the way he smelt us. He must be in love already. Laughing, I started packing everything I had, including the only family picture I had left. I did not have many clothes, and I was embarrassed about it. My mate would have to buy me a few things. The small number of clothes I had were donations from the Omegas in the kitchen. My head was still fuzzy from the pain in my back, the silver in my blood was still high, and I could not remember where the Blue Moon Pack was on the map and how long time would take to get there. I just hoped I would be fit for a trip and that my mate had come by car. I was sure I would not be able to shift to travel in wolf form. It had been a long time since I was last allowed to shift, and I knew it would hurt to do it again like it was the first time. With the silver in my blood and 3 weeks without food, I knew I would not survive if I shifted. I need to get stronger first. I heard a knock on the door. Who is it, eh? It isn't our mate, but it's from his pack. I can smell his pack scent. Fear crossed my insides again. He might have to get authorization from his alpha to take us. If he talks to Uncle Michael, he will not let us leave. We need to think of something. Aphrodite lifted her head in an imposing position. Don't worry, Jules. He is our destined mate. Michael doesn't have a saying in this. It is the law. Besides, he looked strong enough to kick Michael's ass in 5 seconds in front of us. I would love to see it. With much difficulty, I moved and opened the door. A tall blond man in his 20s smiled at me. He was very handsome and built but not as attractive as my mate. Good morning, miss. Are you Julie? I nodded, and he smiled again. Hello, Julie. I am Beta Terry from the Blue Moon Pack. May I have your surname, please? It is for our files. White. Julie White. He wrote it down and put the paper inside an envelope. Excellent, Miss White. I will be escorting you to your new pack now. I can wait here if you need a minute or two before we leave. I was antsy to leave quickly before Uncle Michael stopped us. I shook my head, trying to remember all the manners my mother taught me until I was 12. No, thank you. I am ready to leave. Would we be traveling in wolf form? No. We came here by car, always easier to return with the luggage like that. I took a deep breath and smiled. I just hoped we would only be traveling for a short time. We started walking to the car he had parked on the left, and I could feel his eyes on me. I wore a long-sleeve black shirt and jeans. Everything was baggy on my skinny body, and I hoped he was not judging me. When my mate asked my name, I got scared and only gave him my first name. I knew he could not reject me without knowing my full name. He will know it now, but I did not feel anxious about rejection. Why would he take me to his pack if he wanted to reject me? The beta stepped aside and opened the back door for me. The car was tall and big, and I was looking everywhere. I had not been inside a car in many years. I expected to find my mate inside the vehicle, or at least he would join us at the gate for the travel, but Beta Terry stopped at the entrance and gave the envelope to one of the men on patrol and said, "Gare, give it to the Alpha. Help him with everything for departure. I am leaving now. See you back at the pack." The man nodded and opened the gate. Just like that, we left the woodland pack. Nobody said anything or inspected the car. They only opened the gate, and here we went. I had been locked inside the pack for 6 years, and it only took me 5 minutes to escape. Of course, none of it would become possible if I was not with Beta Terry. Rogues were always a problem for us since Uncle Michael became an alpha, and I was sure I would not survive a day if I escaped. I had tried to escape before, but that was when my uncle started to starve me more and more. I became too weak to shift and run. My only hope was always for my mate to find and rescue me from that place. "Jules, ask him about our mate. Why is the beta taking us? And please ask him if he has some food. We are leaving too early." Sure, he didn't have breakfast. The Omegas might be arriving at the pack house to start cooking now. I could feel Aphrodite's urgency to know everything. "Beta Terry. Won't my mate be joining us?" He looked in the mirror and met my eyes. "He has some business to attend at your former pack. I am to escort you to the pack house. You and your wolf will love it there. We have vast land and beautiful places to run and explore." I smiled. Even if they did not have much land, I knew I would be happy. Anything would be better than what I had for the past 6 years. I am sure I will. I have never been to another pack before. May I ask you my mate's name? He turned his head to look at me and thought for a minute before turning his eyes back to the road. "It is Maximus Black, Alpha of the Blue Moon Pack." Max did not think Julie could lead the pack by his side, but he told Terry to take her back to the Blue Moon Pack. What do you think will happen to Julie now? Leave your comments below.